Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and today we're going to get into our Tuesday takeaways of NFL Week 6. So we're going to try to do it again in 10 minutes or less. I failed last week. We'll see if I can do it this week. But more importantly, please let me know down below what was your biggest takeaway of Week 6 in the NFL season, or what was your team takeaway, who you root for. And maybe some of the things I might have got wrong throughout my takeaways. Obviously, I don't do this for a living. I just watch the games, check out the box score. So there might be some stuff that I miss. So just let me know in the comments down below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get into it. Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers win the game 36-24 against the Seattle Seahawks. And my big takeaway, I guess, of that game, Purdy's pretty. Like, he's good. He's good in that offense, but it's Isaac Grandetto, I believe how you say it, 9.9 yards a carry, 99 yards. That's my biggest takeaway. Like, again, San Francisco 49ers they always get running backs that can just run their system. He was a 4th-round pick. Apparently, he didn't even start in college. I watched an interview by him. So interesting, or he started one game, something like that. Ridiculous. Okay, but that's my big takeaway. Another running back for the 49ers. Sunday, we got the London game. The Jacksonville Jaguars lose that game, which means that I was wrong when I predicted 16-35 against the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about 2 takeaways. 4 drop touchdown passes for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's not good for any team, guys. You want to score touchdowns, okay? Just saying, that's the goal of the NFL, not almost score touchdowns. As for the Chicago side of it, the Caleb Williams show continues. The last 3 games, 687 yards, 7 TDs, only 1 interception and a 120 QB rating, above 120. I really think that he's starting to hit a stride a little bit. Now, I agree if you're saying, well, the schedule hasn't been great. That's fair. But I think every rookie needs a couple of easy games to get his feet underneath him. And it looks like Caleb Williams is kind of getting his feet underneath him. So good for the Chicago Bears. And I'm sorry for Jacksonville Jaguars fans. I really thought you were making the playoffs this year. I was wrong. The Arizona Cardinals lose to the Green Bay Packers 34-14. The Green Bay Packers, my big takeaway, Love's best game. Yeah, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 258 yards. I think he only had 10 or 11 incompletions, 22 of 33, I believe. I didn't write it down. But it was his best game, and that's what you kind of want to see. They got Dobbs involved, despite the rumors of him wanting to move on. Arizona, just don't bet anything on Arizona. I don't understand that team. It's so up and down right now. It was beating San Francisco last week. This week, it can't even keep up with the Packers. The Packers just shellacked the Cardinals, and I was wrong in my prediction of that. The Indianapolis Colts 20, the Tennessee Titans 17. Not much to take away from this game. Flacco, the ageless wonder, continues, but the Tennessee Titans, I think the biggest thing, it's just a rough season for Tennessee because Ridley had 8 targets and 0 receptions. One thing Jacksonville can hang their hats on is they did not resign him, but that could be more of a QB problem in Tennessee with Will Levis. The Houston Texans smashed the New England Patriots 41-20. This is something that we talked about when we predicted the game on the podcast, that I wanted to see from Houston to make a statement win against the Patriots. That every game they've played so far has been close. I want to see them blow out a bad team, and that's what they did. Mixon being back was a big part of it. His first game back, 102 yards off of 13 carries. On the Patriots side, Drake May, not bad. Not bad. He definitely gives them a better chance offensively than Jacoby Brissett. Speaking of shellackings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers shellack the New Orleans Saints 51-27. Baker Mayfield continues to be impressive. I know he had a couple interceptions. I think 2 of them were not really his faults if you go watch them, you know what I'm saying? Just go watch them. Not his fault. But 4 touchdowns and 325 yards. As far as the Saints side, it's hard to really judge anything from the Saints with the quarterback they have starting. Obviously, he's not going to be a permanent starter in Rattler, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Each team had 3 turnovers, but to give up 51 points when you turn the ball over 3 times is kind of impressive in a sense. The Cleveland Browns lose to the Philadelphia Eagles 20-16. Deshaun Watson starting continues to baffle everybody who watches football. Not just that he's still out there. I guess we all know why, though. It's because of the contract. But if he didn't have that contract, he would have been benched like 4 weeks ago. He had a 34.8 quarterback rating. And the Philadelphia side with Brown and Smith back, the Philadelphia Eagles still kind of look like they need something to get going. I'm not sure about the Eagles right now. They're kind of worrying me because, again, that was another team I had winning their division. Speaking of the NFC East, the Washington Commanders lose to the Baltimore Ravens 30-23. Henry continues to be the off-season signing of the year. 24 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. What a beast. Ravens have the game plan now with Baltimore, with Henry and Lamar. And the Commanders, you guys have to be happy with Daniels. Daniels did not have a turnover in this game. He had 269 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. It's just he's still a young quarterback. So he played really good. And to have that type of game by that young quarterback in that type of setting in Baltimore against a good team, I think that's huge. And again, as long as he can stay healthy, Daniels is probably the quarterback of this draft class as of right now. Caleb Williams fans, settle down. I said as of right now. Okay, the Chargers, they beat the Denver Broncos 23-16. I said that the Chargers will probably win 10 games this year. 9-10, I could see it. They were my dark horse team this offseason because of the coaching change. And throughout the first 3 quarters, they kept the Broncos to 0 points, and then they kind of kept their foot off the gas, and then the Broncos kind of made a little comeback. Bo Nix, jury's still on him. He is so up and down. He's not Tim Tebow-esque, but no, he's not Tim Tebow, but he's Tim Tebow-esque, as it seems as if, like, sometimes he'll be having a bad game in the fourth quarter. He kind of shows up when the defense lets up. He had 16 net pass yards at one point in the game when he had 16 pass attempts. That's rough. Bo Nix, jury's still out on you. The Pittsburgh Steelers does its job against the Las Vegas Raiders, 32-13. Really, it's defense, ground and pound for them. And Harris had 106 yards. Fields, 59 yards on the ground. That's why you start Fields over Wilson, is because I think you might get the same production at the quarterback level, but you get the athleticism of Justin Fields, who can make plays on his feet. For as far as the Raiders go, I really think they need to just keep starting O'Connell, because at least something could come of it, even though probably won't, but at least something could come from it. Brock Bowers seems to be the silver lining of the season. Like, that was a good pickup in the draft, even though I wouldn't have drafted him that high. Good pickup from the Raiders. But their team is just not doing good. And right now they're saying they're not trading any of their players, as maybe Adams, but not Crosby. We'll see if that changes as the season goes on. The Detroit Lions smash the Dallas Cowboys 47-9. I think a big statement game based on what happened last year. With all the drama that happened there. Williams continues to have a breakout year. Goff looks on point. That ground game looks amazing, but it's really bittersweet as a Lions backer myself. Hutchinson out for the year. The Lions really need to find pass rush. If they do not find pass rush, whether in a trade or free agency or wherever, I think that we could see that they just go a notch below. I feel like they were playing as like the best team in the NFC, and now it's like, if you don't have Hutchinson, are you going to be that team? I don't know. You can't replace those sacks. So the Dallas Cowboys, Cowboy fans, I don't know. McCarthy is just not the guy. I was trying to say that before. I think you guys knew that when he got hired. I didn't like the hiring, but it just they're as inconsistent as a lot of these other teams. The Atlanta Falcons, 38. The Carolina Panthers, 20. Cousins in London seem to be developing some chemistry. And then I love that they got Tyler Algier involved. He is the only running back in the NFL that's backing up running back that I'm like, he needs to be on a different team starting, unless if the Atlanta Falcons do this, where they split the carries, basically 18 for Algier, 15 for Robinson. They had 200 yards on the ground and I think 3 touchdowns. That's the way to go. Carolina, nothing to say, nothing new to come out of that. Other than Andy Dalton still proves that offense is competent with a competent quarterback, which is not a good thing for Bryce Young. The Cincinnati Bengals 17, the New York Giants 7. Pretty boring game, but I do have to say, like, the defenses of both sides showed up. The defense of the Bengals, it's been rough for them. And the fact that they held any team to under 10 points, that's a positive. And as far as the Giants go, same thing. Even though the offenses show up, the Giants continue to have like a solid defense. And I will say that with the NFC East kind of up in the air, who knows? But you got to get better consistency from Daniel Jones. Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets 23-20. Listen, the Jets coaching swap did not give the spark they needed to win this game. That's fine. But Rodgers, he played okay. He played pretty good, 294 yards passing. It seemed that the offense ran a little better, right? However, that last interception, underthrown ball, Mike Williams slipped, and it hurt the Jets in a big way. Although if he would have just threw it on point, it probably would have either been, well, it would have been in field goal range. So either a tie game or in a position to score a touchdown. Allen, good bounce back game, 19 for 25, 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So that's my takeaways for this week, my Tuesday takeaways for this week of football. Let me know in the comments down below, what were some of your takeaways, especially your team. What did you take away from your team? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't yet, check out our podcast. I have a lot more stuff on my podcast. We're going to be doing the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 6. We're going to predict week 7, and I have a bunch of NBA stuff coming out before the season starts. So thanks so much again for watching. We'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.